Tell me about Playing with Fire. I mean, I know about it, but like, tell about it.
So it's a musical. This kind of, life is chapters. I'm in a chapter now where I've been really drawn to the musical theater world because, albums are less prevalent. It's a singles world, and I like the idea of telling a bigger story. And you could do that with an album. You know what I mean? It's like there was concept albums all the time. You don't see that stuff, and so I've kind of missed that, and thought it would be an interesting project, a fun task to take on. And so over the last couple of years, I've written 2. The Playing with Fire is the one that seems to be the one that everybody's interested in, and I think it's because it's Frankenstein, and all of those themes are so timeless. But it's also, we're dealing with the same sort of ideas now when you're talking about, like, okay, if you make something, it comes with responsibility, and especially, we're living in the times of AI, right? Like, you make something, you better keep an eye on this thing, and you better care for it, and you better be thoughtful about it. And so it's just this story that this woman wrote, amongst friends. We're still dealing with themes today that, I don't know if she could have imagined, but it was striking to me. And I hadn't read it in a long time, but my writing partner, Jimmy Harry, his mother was a playwright. And so she did an adaptation of it. And the way she laid it out, she condensed it, because the original is, we all have ADD now. We're used to like 15 seconds, and then we have to keep it moving. And she really did a fantastic job of getting to the heart of it emotionally and condensing the material. And so after I kind of looked at it through that lens, her name was Barbara Fields. She wrote Playing with Fire, but it's a play. And
does it say based upon Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yeah. So it was called Playing with Fire after Frankenstein. And so we started talking about it because we had just finished up, but we've also written a musicalized version of Candide, which is pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But when we were like thinking about, okay, what are we going to do next? And we doing a bunch of reading a bunch of things, just trying to get inspired. And Jimmy mentioned his mother's, he's like, I would never do but this is a story that actually I think is interesting. I know it's my mom, but take a look at it. And we certainly deviate from what she did. We have different ideas than what she did, but she certainly was an inspiration, and Mary Shelley was an inspiration. And it's been fun to think about a bigger picture. It's exciting to write a 3-minute song that can energize the room and can make people feel something in an instant. That's amazing. And we love that, right?
Sure.
But it's also fun to take a wider lens to something and take people on that journey, like you said. It's like, all right, 1 minute, I want you to feel joy. The next minute, I want you to be devastated. The next minute,
it's so good, man. It's and for me, selfishly, getting to hear you sing, period, but sing in a totally different way. Yeah, it's so awesome.
It was fun to play around. We were trying to figure out what it was going to sound like. When we did Candide, it's a coming of age story, and so it can be energetic and fun and poppy and things like that. And I think that was a great place for me to start, because that's my original background, right? Yeah. But when you talk about Frankenstein, it's a totally different mood. And so when we were kind of going through the process of just, what does Frankenstein sound like? What does it sound like? And trying to pull references and what instruments we're going to play, because, that's going to set the tone.
It's a landscape.
Yeah, it really is. So it was really fun to kind of figure that out. And again, to play different and to sing different and to...
Did you have or was it your guy? Was it all
Jimmy
in the box, like just experimenting with all different kinds of sounds? And
everything starts in the room, like he has an upright piano and he has some guitars and stuff laying around.
So it starts organically and then gets,
Usually you know, I mean, again, the thing that is helpful is you already have a focus though. You know, sometimes you go in the studio and you're like, well, what the hell are we going to write today?
Right.
You know, and then maybe you have a conversation, well, what's been going on in your life? What's happened to you in the last 2 months? And then you can maybe start there. Maybe you just have a random idea in your phone, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, having a subject matter already there, you can already start to manipulate it in your mind. So that's super helpful as a, you know, as a writer. At least it was for me going into the thing. But it's about picking the moments too. You know, what part of this should be sung? What part of this should be a book? You know, like what's going to make the maximum impact? You know, why is this better being sung? Why is this better in a moment of silence? You know, why is that contrast? And so that's been a really fun experiment.
And you guys are still in the process of like, figuring
we're
it
rewriting the book, and we've just written a couple new songs since, two new songs.
How many hugely successful Broadway shows do you find out took 17 years?
They take forever, man. They take forever.
Because part of it is the financing is just brutal, right?
Yeah, but look.
And the tinkering. That's the tinkering.
So nothing's ever done. You know what I mean? But and that comes with even writing 3-minute songs.
But even when a show is launched, they'll like, depending upon sometimes audience reaction. I've heard this from people, Broadway.
That's why you're doing out-of-towners.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, again, Max Martin, right? Just to take it into our pop writing world, right? Yeah. Max Martin has And Juliet on Broadway right now. But it took 7 years to get there.
Right.
And they were on the West End for years. And you think, okay, well, that is the pinnacle in Europe. You know, it's like, okay, it must be done. And they changed it.
Yeah.
Like not wholesale changes, but changes from the West End, which is the top destination in Europe, to when you come to America, you've actually, I didn't know you were going to make changes from there to there.
Because the audience is going to react in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's never done. But
well, I'm really excited for you, being a little privy to it and hearing the songs and knowing the story. I'm really excited for you.
It's fun. You know.
Have you ever worked on a musical?
No, I've thought that's sort of a bucket list.
Mm-hmm. And here's what I think: if you decide to do it, might be a selling point. It was part of the selling point for me. It's like, if you make it's going to be sang live every night.
Yeah,
it's going to be live. It's going to be real human beings up there singing it. You know, it's like everything we're engaging with right now is attached to a screen or a speaker. Right. And I know that, they're going to be singing into microphones, but you know that when you go there and you go see a show, those people are going to be delivering a real, in time, real life performance. You have no idea what you're looking at when you pick up a screen or look at. Right. So it's kind of fun to know that, okay, in the next 5 years, it's only going to, be more of that. Yeah. That you will be investing in a human experience.
That's good to know. That's a really good point that I didn't think about. The thing that's probably the most appealing about it, the idea of it to me, and I've been approached a couple times. There was one producer who came to me about a show about Andy Warhol, which was really interesting to me. It just never materialized. It never got teeth. But number one, I'm always attracted to things that I feel would scare me, or that I have no real experience with, where I'm like, outside of my comfort zone.
Take a risk.
It's always a good thing. But then the other thing is, what we've done as pop artists over the years and commercially successful artists is we do this and then it's done, and then we do this and it's done, and to work on something for such a long period of time that really does have the potential to last for decades if you do it right.
Well, Elton, the Lion King is still number one.
That's really, really interesting to me.
Yeah.